Now we wait for it to launch. And there it launched. Wait a second. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Game actually looks pretty good. Where'd my mouse go? Where'd it go? Okay, I think we might have to relaunch the game real quick. Let me relaunch the game because for some reason my mouse just disappeared. So give me 1 second while I get it back open. Got I just might have a window that's looking like you guys can see. Okay, you get it here. Okay. What is that sound? Oh, okay. Okay. I open my heavy eyelids to an unfamiliar room. Oh, guess I was asleep, but where am I? This isn't my room. I to the turn my head to the right. Psst, typo in this game. I turned my head to the right to see a small old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. The time read 7:30. 7:30? In the morning or evening? I reached over to stop the alarm and suddenly I felt a dull pain in the back of my head. I wonder what that's from. Ow! Ow! I sat up in the bed to rub my head and shut off the alarm. The pain subsided quickly, and it was then that I may fully take in my surroundings. I found myself in a comfortable room. Soft lighting rested against the warm-colored walls. The furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. An unassuming painting hung just above my head. I scooted from the center of the bed, kicked my feet out from under the covers, and began pursuing the room of its amenities. Roomy closet, small writing desk in the corner, and a single bathroom. You might not get through much of this because I'm going out tonight at 8:30, so yeah. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seeming overly elegant in its design. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Am I imagining this? Or I hope I didn't hit my head. I went to the bathroom, turned the cold tap, and let my cup hands fill with the crisp water before splashing my face. The chill snapped my senses awake as I took a moment to collect myself. Well, as far as I can tell, at least I'm in one piece. I noticed my everyday coat was on a hanger behind me. Pulled the coat on and adjusted myself. Wouldn't hurt to recall the basics. My name is Eco Pine. I'm a student at Calm Mind Institute coming toward the end of my final year. My best friend is Ashley. Ashley! The last thing I remembered was seeing my best friend Ashley off for the day as she went to take care of her horses. Ashley. I wonder if she made it home alright. I mean, I was a little less thorough in making sure she made it into her house that late afternoon, but I'm sure she's alright. Or, I hope. I racked my brain thinking about it that evening. Okay, guys. The voices are going to be the same. I am not that talented. Bear with me, okay? Alright, thanks for the lift. Be careful with your ankle. Can't believe you insisted on driving even though it is sprained. Okay, there we go. Shoot. It's no problem at all. Besides, my ankle is almost done healing. So it's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. I wanted to see if Applejack was in a petting mood tonight. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. And if she is, I'll make sure to give that kitty a good scratching for you. What did she just say? Suppose. Alright, thanks. Night, Ash. Good night, Echo. I left the car and parked and watched as Ashley crossed the lawn. I declined putting any more strain on my left ankle since it was still recovering from a sprain, but I remained vigilant. Okay, I'm not reading. The porch light wasn't on, so as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. I waited a few more minutes until I heard her front door close. Click. Okay, time to get back. I shifted back into drive and let the wheels crawl before accelerating. But upon my slow graze across the gravel, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard her front door close. Was I really certain though? I remember clearly driving off, not. Okay, don't let me read. Nothing. Suddenly, a darkness welled up inside me. Was I in this strange, unknown remote location because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her home? No, that would be absurd. Those two things can't be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. Ugh. I combed through the room once more and realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone call to Ashley to make sure she's okay. Sure, there was an ancient landline service phone in the room. I didn't know where I was to begin with. I started to panic. I had to get out of it. So I caught up in both my head and an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person outside. We're getting to the meat potatoes here. So right now, characters. I'll recap characters right now. We got Echo and Ashley. Echo is the main character that you play as. Ashley is his best friend. And now we're about to meet another character. Name? And that. Oh. Hold up. Is this because. Oh, no, no, no. Ashley. Echo? It was strange. The very friend I thought I suffered a consequence for not making sure they made it home safe was standing right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. Wow. You're okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear old friend of mine. Okay. Okay, buddy. She's what some people call a horse girl, which seems like a vague thing to call someone who just happens to tend to equines. That irreverent thought aside, yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're pale as a ghost. Ha, I just got a little worked up is all. I woke up in this unknown place and I thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. I rattled off the thoughts that stirred my fears just moments ago. Echo, it's okay. You don't have to worry about a thing. She sounds like she's been here before. I made it home to take care of Hyperon all in one piece. I was just a little tired as well, so I went straight to the stables behind the house and took the back door entrance. Why is there just random music? Sorry I worried you. Ashley wrapped me in a big, familiar hug. I immediately felt home. Okay, 1 second. Gotta turn down that music, man. Ashley, okay, never mind. Okay, we're good. Ashley wrapped me in a big, familiar hug, and I immediately felt calm. Thanks, Ash. I, I know I shouldn't get so worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I can't help. Okay, we can't have any music. I'm sorry, the music is good, but I'm doing a YouTube channel, so YouTube video, so I recommend playing this game by yourself to get the full story and everything. Um, I'm just doing a blind playthrough without the music because I'm narrating this. But if you want the music, go right ahead. Uh, but sometimes I can't help it. One thought led to another, and I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion. Oh, Echo, you needn't fret so much. You'll make yourself sick with worry. However, I can totally understand where your worry might come from, especially in this scenario. Yeah, just where are we? Yes, that is the question. With my mind at with my mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I woke up not long ago thanks to the provided alarm clock, and her experience was just the same. She too felt the dull pain of a lingering headache upon wakening, and she too felt a brief moment of confusion due to the unknown setting. I couldn't find any of my possessions in my room. I tried to find my phone to call you, but no luck. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of my things with me, like my satchel or phone. It's odd. Although there aren't any answers ugh, to the obvious questions like how did we get here, and where are my things, etc., etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be that super plush bed. Not gonna lie, I really like that back home. We laughed among ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face, I felt a little safer. You will get what this game is about once we. This is just introduction to characters, but usually these games just start you off strong. Surprised this one didn't. Closed my door behind me, noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with the symbol of my high school. Looking farther down the hall, the various other door plaques shared the same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. Excuse me. Seems her room was just adjacent to mine across the hall. Looks like there's other students here as well. Other plaques with school emblems, I'm assuming. Okay, I'm I gotta have some music in the background. Seems that way. Although I haven't ran into anyone yet. Not literally like you, of course. Very funny. The whole interior was very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls, and candle sconces lighting the path. 1 second. Okay. The dark wood floor was covered in a thick woven rug that created a path toward the opening in the hallway. Okay, we got that. I think I can hear some others down the hall. Ashley took the lead as we curiously walked through the hall, taking in the ambiance as we gazed at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung upon the wall. The sound of lively conversation grew louder as we approached the connecting room. Now we meet some new characters. So right now we got Ashley and Echo. Here we go. We're getting into things. Wow. Sure enough, there were 3 other people having a lively chat in the foyer. Okay, we get the three new people. Hey, you two. Good of you to make it. I was wondering how many other people were going to come around. You could just count how many doors with plaques there are in the living quarters hallway. No, I'm not trying to see for something like that. I'll just figure it out from how many of y'all I meet up with. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? Yeah, it's because I have good company with you lovely folks. This dude sounds like he's from the South. Oh, come on. What's with the cold shoulders? I'm just here to have a good time. That's gonna change, buddy. The person with the hat continued preoccupying his present, less than willing company with his lively conversation. I quietly took in the atmosphere of the foyer before approaching the group. The main clearing was huge. It featured a shiny white marble floor extending into 2 spiraling staircases on either side of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the wall, opposite of the front door. A beautiful grand chandelier hung from the center of a marbled ceiling, just above a modest table at ground level. The wooden table itself was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a very polite note printed on premium grade cardstock. Speaker. Let me do my best speaker voice. Well, my alarm's not. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing and utilizing the bracelets that have been provided. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. I lifted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. It was a light, simple thing, a rose gold plate with my name on it, strung into a bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it till now. Ashley was admiring hers just as I did. Her bracelet hung on her right wrist, just above her own wood cuff bracelet. I looked over at the other students' wrists as well, and they all had the same thing, albeit presumably with their own names. What was the purpose of these things anyway? Rather than getting absorbed and wondering about the small decoration, I decided to join in small conversation. Hello there. Have you 3 already scanned your bracelets? Yes, we all convened here just a few minutes ago. I'd recommend you scan your bracelets on the kiosk as well, since it grants access to the rooms after the welcome. Oh well, then don't mind if I do. I went over to the aforementioned kiosk that was nested strangely within the luxurious decor. Kiosk display. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, okay. The kiosk displayed a simple map of the first floor layout by default. Foyer lead to 4 locations: the living quarters, the dining hall, the study, and the theater. I held up my wrist close to the screen and it quickly detected my bracelet, displaying a sparse summary of information. My name and a profile picture. Eco Pine. Thank you for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. Your, brace- your bracelet corresponds to your room and your room alone. They are paramount to keeping your personal room and its belongings safe. Please take care of it. Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations. And once again, welcome. The screen went to the original map screen as it was before I scanned my bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well, and in the meantime, got to introducing myself to the other students. Great, now we get to meet the other characters and know their names. Hey there, I'm Miko Pine, and this is my friend Ashley Westbridge. Nice to meet you all. Huh? Likewise, I am Arturo Campapiano. I am sorry, guys. Missy Vesper, the pleasure is all mine. Canon Alta. Have you all met before? That would be a negative. Okay. That would be a negative. Nothing like making new friends, though, right? Cannon said nothing, instead, letting out a loud sigh with absolutely no subtlety in hiding her annoyance toward, toward Art's enthusiasm. I see. That said, you mentioned you two are acquainted. Oh, yeah. We were pen pals the summer before high school started, and we just became close over time. That's quite endearing. Well, thank you. I didn't expect that kind of answer from Missy. Maybe she's the type to secretly cry at romantic movies. Hmm. We'll try to get to like the introduction done, and then this will be a series of videos. Well, if we're all signed in, why don't we visit the dining hall? I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel tea is in order after waking up. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore afterwards as well. Yeah, I wonder what who else. Yeah, I wonder who else we're going to run into. This is exciting. Misty walked briskly toward the dining hall, which was just opposite of the living quarters hall where we entered the foyer. Art followed quickly after, which just left Kanan back in the giant clearing. I'll explore at my own pace. Thank you. Oh, oh, okay. I suppose we'll see you later? Hmm. With a curt and definitive statement, Kanan made her case stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. Ashley and I followed the other two into the dining hall, leaving Kanan to her business. I have a sneaking suspicion, but I'm not going to say anything yet. The dining hall was rather small and intimate. A single long woodcraft table and a modest chandelier created the centerpiece. A black marble fireplace with a natural painting hanging just above the decorated far wall. The table doesn't look like it sits 14 or 16. Looks like it sits 6, 7, 8. The table setting for 16 chairs, 14 on each side, and two on the heads of the table. The table was already decorated with light accessories. Candelabra, small vases of flowers, and an encyclopedia about ships. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances. Oh my goodness. An oven, a refrigerator, a large dishwashing sink, a gas range, and all the utensils and tools one might need. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side, with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Wow, this place is super loaded, huh? Art made a beeline for the two side rooms, poking in and out of the dining hall between the pantry and kitchen. Missy, on the other hand, gazed slowly around the dining hall itself. It's a very fine setting, but not so much that it feels oppressively high end. Yep, everything looks to be in order for a good meal. Art finally stopped pacing around and sat at one of the seats, kicking his feet up on the table as he looked around the room. Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. But, where is everyone? This place seats like a bunch of people, but there are only five of us. I wonder if no one else woke up yet. Maybe others ignored their alarms. Some people like to sleep in and all. I approached the natural painting above the fireplace, admiring the soft colors and brushwork. As I stood in front of it, the painting faded out to reveal what looked like to be an emblem. Following the display of the emblem screen, an announcement came from overhead speakers within the room. The voice silverly and modulated. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content. Or if you're unable to, you may use the automated cook feature by tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk and selecting a meal. Or if neither of those suit your particular taste, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. Oh, let me give you one thing about this. I forgot about this. So in this series of games, well, I'll let it explain itself. The emblem disappeared, returning the screen to its initial artwork display. But what did that mean? What's an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Or rather, figured something out. Whatever he started going on about next made no sense to me. Ooh, I get it. This is the safe house a private group provided for us since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? Signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guessed correctly, we all seem to be ultimate students. Yes and no. Yes, you're ultimate students. No, you're not in a safe house. There are some serious ultimate vibes in this room, don't you think? Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man, what are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typical high school students that super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtuous or nefarious. Ugh. They will often have a focused set of skills that make their abilities desirable to certain people, and with good reason. If there's a talent you can think of, there's probably an ultimate student out there that'll knock your socks off with their amazingness. So you're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey, and you didn't even know? Ashley Westbridge, ultimate jockey. Huh? Ultimate jockey? I don't really talk about my talent outside my usual day to day. I heard of Ashley Westbridge's accomplishments. She can wrangle just about any horse and ride him to victory. It's quite impressive to be able to tame such creatures, and any variety nonetheless. However, I have read that you excel best with your main partner, Hyperion, a Pinto Trackinator. Oh my, I didn't realize my achievements were so widely regarded. It's a little embarrassing hearing others remark upon them. Wow, even so. I looked over to Ashley, who, despite the stunning grandeur, looked as modest as ever. Honestly, I thought you were just a typical horse girl. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley held the title of Ultimate Jockey. Huh. I was curious to know what that implied. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during their friendship did she have that title? Enough about me. What about you two? I admit, I can't really put a talent to either of your names. With this newfound knowledge of the situation, I was curious to learn about the other students here. I want to learn about art. Your name is Art, right? May I ask what your talent is? Let me guess. Art. Sure. Oh my gosh! I'm the ultimate golfer. Golfer. I'll never miss my mark. Total hole in ones all day, every day. Wow. How did you manage that? I don't know. I can't stand having to put more energy into extra strokes, so I make the first and last one count. Spit facts right there. What kind of reasoning was that to become a pro golfer? That's an interesting. Oh my gosh. That's an interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control the club like that. It took a lot of practice, for sure. I used to golf a lot with my grandpa. It was all in good fun back in the day, so I guess I never really thought about it as work. I've flubbed a few times, sure, but who doesn't? Art seems to have taken a lot of pride with his title. It's admirable. Now time to learn about mystery. What those individual groups or institutions do with the students is beyond me. I've not heard many stories of success or failure from anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted. In any case, don't take much stock in the title, is all I'm saying. Oh, my bad. I have to admit, though, I am rather curious of the titles now that the subject had been brought up. That's understandable. I'm the ultimate tactician. Hopefully, this speeds up. Tactician, like battle tactics? No, it's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. The the less interesting of the two people usually think of. I've been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, many of which I have been employed to strategize against by opposing forces. Really? Aren't you basically manipulating the winner outcome then? The choice is not mine, but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self beneficial way possible for each side. I think political campaigns can be interesting. But wouldn't Ultimate Campaign Manager be a more appropriate title? Well, I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. Missy seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance of Ultimate title implies. Such captivating talents. I'd love to watch one of your games, Art. Oh, it's nothing. I bet horse racing is much more interesting. Indeed, your feats of athleticism are quite impressive. Yeah, I admit, it's hard to imagine. It's really not such a big deal, Echo. Honestly, the whole ultimate student thing feels a tad blown out of proportion. Sensing Ashley was done with the praise, I shifted the topic. Well, now that we're all acquainted, why don't we look around some more? Looks like there's more to be seen upstairs. Oh yes, it was a pleasure talking to you two. Don't be a stranger, we can explore together. Art's echoing voice sounded through the dining hall. Oh man, the kitchen features are cool. What's this? Clunk. On second thought, I might keep an eye on Art for a little. I'm sure he won't mind the company. Alright, we'll see you around. Ashford and I stepped out of the dining hall into the foyer once more. Cannon didn't stay for long. The foyer was devoid of her presence. Where to? The stairs going up, but I think we should out the entirety of this floor first. I was thinking the same. Why don't you pick where we go next? Sure, the other location they're studying in the theater. Let's visit the theater. Let's go to the theater. Actually, on second thought, I think that's where I'm gonna end it for today. Maybe when I get back, I might record some more. But this is where I'm gonna end it for today. Thanks. Still in the prologue. Um, thanks for watching. Um, next episode we'll find out more, or maybe I'm just gonna shut up. And we are back with this game. When we left off last, we were just getting to the prologue. We just met Art, Missy, and Cannon. And where we're picking up is we just went to the theater. And here we go. Ashley and I walked across well, Ashley and I walked across the hallways to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although the fairly intimate scene with a few rows seats and a medium-sized stage, it still had an air of elegance thanks to the decor. My bad. The stage itself was occupied by three students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. We get to meet three more people. You really want to stand by that theory? Hey, each your own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking the obvious. Let's settle down, please. Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing my view for this scoundrel. Jeez, scoundrel? That's cold. Especially to a stranger. You two don't need to get so heated about something like this. It's an important matter between two strongly opinionated people. So we agree on that matter. Maybe I should cut in? What's going on here? They three turn around, surprised, presumably not from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. Need you ask such a foolish question? We are discussing the dire and apparently questionable existence of this. The white-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like incomplete art. Oh, I see. You're trying to figure out what the painting is. Yes. And what do you see? I stared at it for a moment, but looked up at the two patiently, in all seriousness, waiting for my answer. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. I felt his judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a dog. Not everything has to be a dog. It's clearly an elephant. So, just a different four-legged animal? The conversation seemed pretty heated. I might have better luck if I just talk to them individually. We'll go the snooty dude first. I visited the white-haired student on the stage. So, about the painting. I think I do see the elephant. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured that the painter's intention was to illustrate an elephant as abstract as it appears. Uh-huh. I stared at the painting a little longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he claimed was the true subject. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make anything out within the shapes. Kind of does look like an elephant. So you have an eye for this kind of thing? An eye for abstract art? Ahem, my friend. I am not an ultimate artist. I'm the ultimate opera singer. Brother, shut up. He rambled on about something a bit he rambled he rambled on about something a bit farther before stopping himself. Right. But where are my manners? Forte so low. Charmed, I'm sure. So that's fourth new character. Wait, let me look at the controls. Screenshot. No. Okay, here is the. I need to put this first. So this game is 10 students find themselves trapped in a luxurious mansion and soon discover there is only one requirement for escape. Kill each other. Follow the story through Echo Pine's eyes, unraveling the secrets of their enclosure and the secrets of their fellow students. I'll leave a link down in the description. This game is completely free. I'll leave a link down in the description for the download if you guys want to play it. So let's get back to it. He gave a deep bow as he introduced himself, slowly rose, and went to look at the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, sure has some interestingly placed dramatic moments. Well, let's just go down the line. The girl who was caught in the middle of the quarrel stepped down from the stage and left the other two to glare at each other in silence. Pandora Espereye. Nice to meet you. Likewise. I'm Echo Pine. Echo Pine. Hope we get along. Oh, me too. So I was informed that this little group of students is composed of students that have ultimate talents. Did you happen to have a title of some sort? Oh yes, I am known as the Ultimate Baker. And yourself? About that. I don't seem to know. I don't think I have one, if I'm being honest. That's no matter. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person. Oh, why does it seem like she's flirting with me? So, what do you think the painting is? I'm not really sure myself. But For something as ambiguous as that, it can be whatever the viewer wants to be. Whoever can read French. I suppose so. Perhaps it isn't the subject of this piece that is most important, but rather it is the emotion it conveys to the individual. Black and white are quite striking colors to work with, are they not? There's a lot of symbolism behind those two simple colors. Hmm. But I can only wonder if the artist behind the piece enjoyed creating it. The art wouldn't have come to life otherwise, so I don't see why not. I agree. Pandora. She's such a warm presence. Uh, this will be a long video. And finally, I approached a student wearing the fur-lined jacket. So, about the painting, I think I do see a dog. What was I looking for? I don't know. You don't have to lie. I don't care about what it isn't. In fact, I don't know what the painting is either. So I made something up. Dog is an easy thing to imagine. It's just a practice of pareidolia. Pareidolia? The act of perceiving a subject or significance where there is no meaningful interpretation. For example, seeing objects in cloud formations or hearing indistinct voices in random noise. And in this case, seeing a dog in an abstract painting. Dogs are common enough animals. Ugh. Yeah, who doesn't like to think about dogs? I stared at the painting a little bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he said it was, even if he did make it up. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make anything out within the shapes. Isn't it a little cruel to make something up when he's so intense about it? I just wanted him to explain why he saw what he did, but he surely wouldn't. So much for a friendly discussion. To each their own, I suppose. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting everyone. I would tell you my talent if I had one. You don't have an ultimate title or can't remember. Hmm? He seemed to be muttering under his breath about my last statement, but I paid him no mind and waited for his response. Okay. I am Lyle Termania, the ultimate puzzle master. A connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, the like. Now, if you don't mind, Lyle turned back to the painting, ending our conversation abruptly. Puzzles, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the shapes in that painting. Ashley and I left Forte and Lyle to have their own spat in peace. Pandora stayed behind, trying still to settle the two down. Phew. Forte and Lyle were kind of intense, huh? I'll say. I never really had a sharp eye for art, so what they were talking about was beyond me. And Pandora is brave for trying to calm them down. It takes a certain kind of person to want to intervene when things get heated, huh? Let's go to the study next. The study was cramped. Encyclopedias that filled to the ceiling covered an abundance of subjects, ranging anywhere from medical to athletic. There was a small office corner provided, for studying the tones and relative ease. Another digital kiosk stood off to the side, showing a searchable list of books in the study. I actually observed the kiosk curiously as I gawked at the variety of reading material stuffed in the shelves. Oh wow! This equestrian encyclopedia was published only 2 years ago. I have an old version, so this could be really interesting. Haha, you would be excited about that. What? Now that you know I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense? No, you're still the same old horse girl I know, but with a fancy title. Okay, now we have we're gonna be all 10 students. There were two other students taking residence in the library, one meekly hiding in the corner, and the other calmly leafing through their book of choice. Go with the meek. I approached the meek student, standing in one of the darker corners of the study. Hey there. I'm not saying that. Sorry to spook you. I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. Huh? I I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. He's evil. I peered over at the aforementioned person who just looked to be calmly inspecting the rows of books. Ugh. Fine, he didn't drag me out. I ran into him when I was wandering around. I just wanted to be alone in the study. She shot me a troubled glance after admitting her lie. Can you tell me about yourself? Me? I'm Seikono. No. I'm a watchmaker. Would you then by chance be called the ultimate watchmaker? I guess you could say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money. Someone once offered me 3 luxury cars for a single watch. You must have some very well admired craftsmanship. I guess so, but I can't even drive. What was I gonna do with 3 cars? She clammed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone. The green haired student noticed me approaching him and deftly flipped his book shut with one hand, giving me his full attention. It's morning? Good morning. I immediately felt that attention to be near palpable from his focused gaze alone. Are you finding everything all right? This study has quite a pleasant atmosphere, wouldn't you agree? Stop trying to riz me, buddy. I'm not gay. Oh, yes, it's very well accommodated. The study, as well as the rest of the facility, are all nicely prepared. Indeed, you could spend days in this well kept study enriching your mind in regards to whatever subject your heart desires. Does that sound like an inviting prospect? Buddy, I already told you, I'm not gay. I don't see why not. A location for alternate students should be in peak edition, right? The preservation project situation seems to be equipped for comfort. Ah, so you've been made aware of the preservation project. He hesitated, as if chewing meticulously on his next statement. Do you have an ultimate talent? Um, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure I even know what my talent is. Considering this situation seems to revolve around it, everyone I've met so far has some kind of title. I admire your candor. Who knows? You might have some innate skills that you personally think are average. You think so? I feel pretty ordinary, and I've never really been the center of mass attention for anything in particular. The skill might just require a specific habitat, so to speak. Luckily, this appears to be the ideal place and social environment for expanding upon such hidden abilities. However, I wouldn't worry much about it. Whatever underlying passion and talent you have is for you and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out of my league with so many skilled students. I looked this game up. I forget why. Oh, to see like who was. I do believe this is ultimate charisma. Yep. It's hard to describe. I'm called the ultimate charisma. Cyrus Shurik, by the way. Nice to meet you. Back at you. A pleasure. I didn't really understand the implication of his title, but I could feel a sort of alluring presence to him. I suppose that's what charisma is. After meeting with the two others in the study, Ashley and I chatted about the other students. So we met Say and Cyrus, a watchmaker and charismatic person, respectively. I suppose one become I suppose one could become talented at improving their characteristics if they wanted to. Could be similar to managing a brand, perhaps. Maybe. Regardless, they seem nice enough. Yeah, Say seems sweet, if not a little shy. And I think we get the bomb dropped on us. After wandering around the first floor, Ashton and I paused in the living quarters hallway to gather our thoughts. So, those are all the available locations on this floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough, but more importantly, I wondered just how many other students there are. That other student from earlier, Cannon, just counted the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out? Oh, but who knows if there are more students on other floors? There were stairs going up in the foyer, so we could check that area out too. Speaking of Cannon, I wonder what her talent is. Pause the video, and if you think you know, because I already know, put your answer down in the comments based on her name. Cannon. I'll give you a hint. It's a brand of something. Wait, that aside, how did I never know you had a super talent in horse racing? Huh? Well, it just never came up. I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care for how much time I'd spend at the stables and racetracks, so I just stopped bringing it up. Besides, it's just easier to tell people I tend to horses. So what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does that mean you win a lot? Come on, Echo. I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. I'll just say my win percentage is 44%. Oh, top 3 percentage is 84%. I don't know what those numbers are supposed to mean. Anyway, I'm not just a horse girl. I have other pets too. Yeah, like a cat, Applejack. Of course you remember Applejack. How could I not? She called up all my school vests. The deep ringing of a school bell rang across the halls, echoing through the building. Okay, here we go. Then, an announcement came over what seemed to be hidden overhead speakers in the ceiling. It is now 9 a.m. The second floor amenities are now open and will stay open until 7 p.m. Second floor? After announcement, we saw Pandora filter out of one of the floor rooms and into the halls. Oh, Ashley and Echo. Would you like to visit the second floor with me? Sure, we were just wondering about it as well. By the way, did you get anything to eat from the dining hall? Huh? Oh, no. I was a little distracted by the whole ultimate students thing. You're in luck. I made some croissants earlier. Here, help yourself. She produced two items folded in cloth from her apron pocket. I accepted the small cloth covered delight and unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bite-sized croissant. A heavenly warm aroma filled the hall. From the fragrance alone, I was enveloped in the comfort of feeling the sun rays on my skin. Ash and I took one each and bit into the flaky, buttery dough. Oh, piece of chocolate inside melted as soon as it hit my tongue. It was smooth and rich, contrasting the light and sweet crumb of the dough housing it. Okay, we're good. That's the ultimate baker for you, whatever that says. Mercedes. But it's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. The look on people's faces when they smell delectably fresh bread coming out of the oven. The warm, fuzzy feeling when you get when you eat your favorite food. Such a feeling is priceless. Priceless. Pandora was right. After enjoying the croissant, I felt an intense nostalgia for my younger days, when I would spend summers running around outside, basking in the fresh afternoon sun. That was the power of an ultimate baker's delicacies, to invoke a warmth of scent and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing. Off to the second floor. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I noticed you two are quite close. Have you met before? Echo is my best friend. We've known each other for 4 years now. Ah, a long friendship is something to cherish. Definitely. Echo's always been there for me, even if they are a little worrisome. Hey, how could you say that? I'm just looking out for you. I kid, of course. I really appreciate your concern, but you should think about yourself sometimes too. Pandora smiled sweetly as we had our little back and forth. Sorry, why don't we get going? No worries, shall we? When do we get into the meat and potatoes of this game? The three of us walked back down the hallway toward the foyer, where the stairs to the second floor were. Hey Pandora, did you meet anyone else this morning? Anyone else? I can't say I have. So far, I've only been acquainted with you two, Forte and Lyle. Oh, sorry. I thought you might have run into a few others like we have. This morning I went to the dining hall and then the theater. Unfortunately, Forte and Lyle kept me from going anywhere else with their argument. Hmm. If we didn't see you, then you must have woke up much earlier than us, huh? That's correct. I suppose you could say my internal clock has been tuned to my habits given my day-to-day life. I wake up very early to make sure my dough has properly, from the night before, has properly risen. Prepare any glazes I might need, prep my workstation. Oh, but I must be boring you with my daily routine. No, not at all. It's fascinating, honestly. You're sweet, Echo. Perhaps I'll invite you to help me tomorrow morning. Hope you're awake at 4:30 a.m. Brother, I am not up at 4:30 a.m. Oh, well, sure. I can't promise I'll be fully awake though. Pandora laughed lightly in jest as she went on her merry way upstairs. Where do we go first? Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. Oh wow. The screen displayed another map. There's a third floor, this time of the second floor location. The atrium, the spa lounge, the climbing center, and the jazz club. What the? What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it? Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber. I think the assortment of activities are presented to cater to the unique talents of various students. In fact, the kitchen pantry has a wealth of resources. I was quite surprised to find such fresh and rare ingredients. I imagine the other ultimate chefs would be pleased with the selection as well. That's a good point. There's a theater on the first floor after all. Forte and other ultimate performers probably utilize the room as a place to further hone their skills. The preservation project. It seemed like this group wanted to accommodate a myriad of intense and unique students. Bear with me while I adjust how I am sitting. I am not in my usual spot today. R&R. So, yeah, you know. Okay, we're situated. This game has been fun. Well, it's a text-based game. We're still in the prologue. It would probably be going a little bit faster if I wasn't reading everything, but yeah. I wonder what kind of group had the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first? I'm curious about the climbing center. This mansion must be huge if it can house something exciting like that here. I'd like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. Echo, why don't you decide? Well, okay. Let's explore the spa lounge. We inspected the map for a route to the spa and made our way there in no time at all. Please let there be a hot baby. The spa lounge was serene and welcoming. A shallow pool was laid into the marble floor. A mesmerizing opalescent ceiling mirrored the pool above it. Several simple relaxation loungers lined the walls for general leisure. Off to the side was a storeroom stocked with a perfumery inventory of scented oils, bath soaps, and skincare products. Just by the storeroom doorway sat a familiar kiosk. Ah, I'd love to spend some time here. Pandora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands in her lap. But now that I think about it, Are facilities like this meant to be self-run by the residing students? Pandora brought up an interesting observation. The kitchen offered fully automated meals, but they still provided them the option of having the student utilize the kitchen and tools. Facial? Sign me up! Redact. Sign me up for massage. Peeking into the storeroom, I saw a separate hallway of individual private rooms, labeled for certain services: facial, massage, aromatherapy. Hey, you might be right. There are all these little specialized rooms with all sorts of specific equipment. If you consider my talent in arts, there might be a race track or golf course outside, along with other outdoor recreation talents like angling and skiing, or skiing. Perhaps that would be a very exciting prospect. That could mean all the other facilities and activities have features that are tuned accordingly to certain talents. Yeah, just from a glance, I figured the study was just a library, but I suppose there are resources there as well that are suited for talents that require research or writing. There's so much reading. To think such an extraordinary place existed to benefit the many pursuits of equally extraordinary people. So, do either of you do anything special to train for being an ultimate student? Uh, Jenny Finesse Pass. Although some could say I bake too much, I simply suspect my pastries have ended up in the right hands for me to be considered. I don't really do anything special either. I also race quite a bit, but most of my time is spent plainly practicing. Like Pandora, there may have been a scout in the audience. I honestly couldn't say. I see. Just putting in the hours, so to speak. Huh? Perhaps we're just lucky enough to have been selected for this opportunity to meet others cut of the same cloth, right? I couldn't agree more. I'm very charmed to be in such delightful company. Neither of them seem to do anything partic- Neither of them seem to do anything particularly intensive to earn their title. I wonder about the others, whether or not they were trained, or if they, too, were just lucky enough to be selected. After taking a beat to relax in the spa lounge, we made our way to the climbing center next. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Do, 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 do. game? Just the story of this game right now? There's not really that much. The climbing center was a vibrant, spacious place. The artificial rock and arch formations that carved the walls reached upwards of what looked to be 3 stories high toward a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Off to the side was a preparation locker full of ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Whoa, this place is huge. I can't imagine how anyone gets up there. I craned my neck up, inspecting the array of colorful grips that dotted the sprawling ascending surface. The hanging ropes disappeared into the distance of light. The world is certainly full of Okay, why am I reading it like a friend? The world is certainly full of interesting people and talents. Where there's a will, that's me. There's a way. Pandora poked out from one of Pandora poked out from under one of the arch formations, just as taken with the incredible height as I was. That's for sure. I'm an athlete, but I can't say I excel here. I don't really have a good tolerance for heights. If you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind my asking, how did you two discover your talents anyways? Ashley pondered the question for a second. I was raised in the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like second nature. As a child, going to the racetrack with my father was honestly just another errand. That is, until he let me ride the horses myself. I felt a love for the exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by my mothers, one a teacher and one a prolific baker. They taught me everything I know about baking. I also cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I, too, felt a love for the task at hand. Wow, you two are truly incredible. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Oh, why do you do this to me, games? Echo, you're an incredible person too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers. Huh? I don't know about all that. Yeah, Echo. Don't think about don't think too much about the title stuff. We're still people, you know. Oh, okay, my face is okay. My bad. Oop. Don't think too much about the title stuff. Such a remarkable, such such remarkable feats would be difficult to put aside. They were so humble when talking about their ultimate talents. I wonder if I could ever measure up. Feel like there's gonna be another announcement. No, we got the. Oh, I forgot about the jazz club. Wandering about to our last destination, we finally came across the jazz club. It was a welcoming venue. A warm furniture, warm. It was a welcoming venue. Warm furniture and lighting gave the room an air of a casual elegance. Table settings for the audience occupied the majority of the space, with a small stage in the corner for the performers. The close proximity between the two made the scene that much more intimate. A small green room was behind the stage curtains, and connected to it was the equipment and instrument storage. The bar opposite the stage had shelves upon shelves of beverages locked behind a sturdy glass case. A pretty classy atmosphere, huh? I wonder how many ultimate talents have toured this room for performances. Many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the rooms, so it would be no surprise one would feel comfortable here. Then a thought crossed my mind. Do you think I could be some kind of ultimate jazz performer or ultimate bartender? Have you ever handled an instrument before or mixed beverages? No, but who knows? Maybe if I pick something up, I'll suddenly be stricken with an ultimate talent revelation and play like a pro. Cyrus said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. It just occurred to me that perhaps these rooms aren't just for students with existing skills, but they could also be a sandbox for budding talents. Huh, I suppose there's no harm in trying. Why not? I'd like to see the moment a talent has been realized. Relieved they supported my odd idea, I felt a strange confidence rising. No, this is gonna go bad. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage and picked up an instrument that I thought would suit me. Ashley and Pandora both took a seat in the front row and watched in anticipation. I felt like a kid going through a toy box with how many options there were. How about this cello? Go for it. Pandora gleefully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings across the neck. I laid the bow across the strings. I was nervous, but if what Cyrus said was true, that my talent was waiting to be discovered, I couldn't wait to realize it. This ain't gonna go good. I took a deep breath and drew the bow. And then thought about how that's how I thought of the sound I created tore through the air like a giant rubber duck was being unceremoniously stepped on. It was awful. I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they still put on a brave face for my sake. I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it originally came. Huh, I guess that's not it, huh? I wobbled off the stage and plopped down wearily at the table with Ashley and Pandora. I was beyond embarrassed. I would be too. Ah, don't despair. You just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo. Not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar. I'm surprised you even knew how to approach holding it. I I've seen performers prefer before, so I just imitated what I saw. Oh, that makes sense. Pandora held my hand in a firm grasp. Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. If we have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we'll know we're one step closer to reaching our goal. Pandora reassured me and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Thanks, you two. I want to say so much stuff, but I forget this is going on YouTube. Come, come, let's keep exploring. Can we just get to the meat and potatoes of this game? We left the jazz club. Outside the room, we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus and Lyle in the hallway at the foot of the entryway. Hello there. Having a fulfilling time exploring? Yeah, totally. I still feel a little exasperated from the cello mishap, but I tried to play it off as best as I could. What's up with you? Don't tell me you're already tired. There's still a lot to explore. Lyle, please. It isn't a race to make ourselves familiar with all the different rooms. No, we were actually just about done over here anyway. It was just my luck that the room appeared to be soundproof. Based on their lack of adverse reaction, it seems neither Cyrus nor Lyle heard the disastrous sounds of a cello being poorly utilized. Then the sound of ringing in a voice rang through the speakers. Your attention, please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. The five of us collectively made our way to the requested location, chatting about our discoveries along the way. Finally, nothing like taking us. Hold up, 1 second. I want to see between the two videos that I've recorded today how long this freaking prologue was. 3. Wait. Oh no, it'd be this one, right? So this one. Oh no, that's. How long was this video? Okay. Nothing like an hour and a half into this game when we finally get to the meat and potatoes. This prologue was an hour long. The end of the second floor hallway. The end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious, airy locale. Natural light poured in from the high glass ceiling. The lush trees that framed the circular lobby reached toward the sky, well past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the second floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following and framing the ellipse shape of the room. A well-maintained wall lined the first floor's foundation. Oh my gosh. Look how much dialogue there's been. Oh. Ah, okay. Kind of glad I came here now. Found out about the. Okay. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Hold up. Okay, I don't care about that. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! A familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Check this place out! Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if they had a mini golf set up in there? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging with Art, along with a timid sigh trailing behind them, no less. Slowly, our populace gathered in the center of the atrium hall. Cannon and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw all the students I had previously met, but afterwards, no one else came. Kind of a tiny class, huh? There were 10 of us, including myself. Wait, hold up. Pause. 1 second. I'm doing a little bit of cheating. 10 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Wow, no. Hold up. We can check this game out. 1 second. I'm sorry. But lore is gonna be lore. And I think I just might have found a new game to play. Okay. Okay. There were 10 of us, including myself. Art whispered the same observation I made. It was true that our class was rather small, but we're really, we are, but where we really, but were we really going to be doing any learning here? English. I conceded calling a group of students a class was only appropriate. A hologram visual was presented from the centerpiece globe. A familiar voice came from the overhead speakers. It was the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. Please be up there, please. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to your provided safe house. As you are well aware, this safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of those concerns here. Disaster? I peered across the room to see expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. I knit my brow. As ultimate student, we've provided you with the best amenities and environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. The location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. You are invited to enjoy yourselves freely. Welcome, all, to the opposite gym. Awesome! Hart audibly pumped his fist in the air. Although no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wander again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but a feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? As far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? Yeah. Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No! Echo! You just got asked by a girl to go to the spa with another girl. Why would you say no? No thanks. You two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from from all the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes. Alright then. If you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? I muttered under my breath before sulking off. I'm not gonna spoil anything, because I trudged down the stairs back to the fourth floor foyer. There I saw Cannon in almost the same position she was in when I first met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either. I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned the corner before Cannon could notice me when... click. I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at that sound, I saw Cannon developing a picture from an instant camera. Huh, how do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I just thought we were disallowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash, she said she didn't have anything in her room either. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So are you the ultimate photographer? Okay. Then that picture you just took? She reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Give me 1 second while I plug in my computer. I'm gonna finish up the prologue, but then tomorrow we will actually, you know what? We might do, but I want to leave off on suspense, but I don't want to suspense myself. I'm gonna hate about recording. She reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Let me check. Okay, we're still good. Dang, her photo captured the moment I'd begun to turn down the hall to avoid her speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. This is. I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is, because it's not a picture of you per se. Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in a composition form called Rücken Figur, which translates literally to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. I listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Kanan silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with her camera once more. But I admit, I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Kanan did have an ultimate talent after all. If that was the case, what was I doing here? My heart and mind were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Was this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot of an actual ultimate student was meant to take? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. I think I just put two and two together. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, the students and their wide-reaching, influential skills. The students who were dexterous masters of their craft, the students whose charismatic aura reassured my averageness, the students who created nostalgia-inducing delights, the students who won races upon races with pure skill. Repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath shorten, my chest tighten. Suddenly, I felt weak. I, I, what's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard cannon. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the people who accomplished near impossible feats at such a young age. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. I can't compete. I I don't belong here. I grasped the door handle so tightly I saw my knuckles turn white. But soon, ah, I only saw black. I really want to end it there, but I'm too intrigued to stop. I was in bed, back in my personal room, or so I thought. Forte was reclining in a love seat at the corner of his room, combing over what looked like sheets of music. I was in Forte's room. You're awake. He set the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious. That's what I'd like to know. Huh? What do you mean? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club but was quickly uninterested in the venue. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Cannon. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front doors. Cannon told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. Came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Cannon in the foyer, but I felt the need to escape and was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled, and Forte was appalled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax in, away from danger. No, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head drooped in shame, regret, humiliation. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the world. He fell silent again. Be that as it may, you are still a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. I gazed into the water cup, blankly. Come. I'm gonna put a come counter. That sounds wrong, but I am. The rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of bed. I complied quietly. When do we find out we have to kill each other? Okay, give me 1 second. What do you guys think of this game so far? Leave your comments down in the comments, and I'll try to find some more games like this to play. Wait, I wonder. Let me look up something. Um, revive. I go to itch.io. Wait. Okay, we found one of the actual games. Let me look. Hold up. We're gonna take a pause on this game. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. 1 second. Well, welcome back. We're gonna get right back into this game. So when we left off, well, I'm not gonna say anything because I'm just gonna stitch all these videos together. Give me a little memento. Ambiance. Oh. The dining hall was fully occupied by our small class. Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's head to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. Dang, I got two women drooling over me? Okay. I'll crack myself up. Dang, two women? What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please, allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. Thank you, Forte. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat by none other than Ashley. Cannon wasn't at the table. Rather, she was standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fretting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decided to come down. This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. Misty shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn a small grin. She seemed satisfied with that pleasing me. What do you mean by that? I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. Our little community had dinner together. Conversation lightly touched on everyone's mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project in which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under protective custody, preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discovery arose. Certain students grew up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, yet they still rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogue. I paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. As we all finished our meals, Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else relentlessly waited to hear what happened to me. Echo, you have no idea how worried I was. Ashley was holding my hand tightly. Ash, if you're feeling up to it, would you mind talking about what happened? I glanced over at Cannon next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. Well, I was feeling tired from running around the mansion and exploring, so after the welcome announcement in the second floor atrium, I decided to go back to my personal room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. I wanted to go outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle but was electrocuted by it. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest. You were electrocuted by the door handle? Perhaps we should investigate. What? And get electrocuted ourselves? Of course not. I simply want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms. We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any other similarly rigged exits. And what would this accomplish? It would ensure our safety so that nothing like this happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the Preservation Project's safe house has already been compromised by the existence of such a trap. The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seemed as if we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke. So we're just going to do nothing? Cannon's indifferent voice broke the silence. Cannon's right. We shouldn't sit idly by we shouldn't sit idly by we shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and we went their separate ways to search for clues. But before anyone could get very far, an announcement rang in. Wait, you know what that dun dun? That's the Five Nights at Freddy's ring. It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. It seems like we will just have to suspend the investigation until tomorrow. There's no use in wandering about aimlessly in the dark. I suggest you all rest up. I realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion. Yeesh, some first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out of the dining hall, though concerned murmurs filling the corridors. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as the last few left. Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. Huh? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. It was after that special welcome announcement I noticed you were off. Must have been difficult, feeling like you don't belong. I admit it's all been awfully overwhelming. I never meant to keep it from you, it's just I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. Ash, you know I'm your friend through and through. I don't think being friends with Ashby Westbridge, Horse Girl, is any trouble at all. Ashley giggled. Echo, I love you. Ah. We're just gonna take a pause. Wowza! Of course. I love you too. Best friends don't tell each other that they love each other. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the hall. Hey, you two. Something wrong? Nope. In fact, we're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in a mansion situation is a big puzzle. Think about it. Escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. I admit, it's not impossible, and it does sound interesting. Right? So what do you think? Not sure yet. I have a feeling it's some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG? Alternate reality game. Brother, you have something else coming for you. This crap's about to hit the fan tomorrow. Alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted with through different media experiences, whether it be online or in real life. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemeteries. I see. Given those examples, it's possible that defuse an electrocuting door could be one of them. Well, they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in our scenario, I'm not certain. And if this is an ARG, there must be a puppet master that's setting these things up, much like an escape room's game master. An escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you got it figured out all already. Ugh. Heh, puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. To think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students, my life before this moment had hardly been eventful as this single day. I lived a rather average life, with as little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. Never thought it could. I never thought it'd be. Never thought it boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person. Likely as a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, this strange situation threw me in a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ashley worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly didn't have a place. I sighed heavily. I should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothing in the closet of the personal bathroom. I let my body relax under the repetitious rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what were we going to discover? And that was the prologue. Prologue. What's in the middle? Wait, you're telling me that wasn't even the freaking prologue? Hold up. Let me download another. Let me download this one. Which one was it? This one. Just an EXE. Okay. Okay, let's continue. I opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my personal room, I sat up from bed and took in the surroundings. So, the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Hug! I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. Oh, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. He walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You slept alright? You sleep alright last night? Yeah, slept alright considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. I'm downloading another game like this, but it's actually from the series. This is not like a part of the actual series, so there will be multiple series. In the foyer, we were met with two other students loitering outside the dining hall. Urgh. Sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time and it says it's 7:43 p.m. Sunday, 6th of December. 7:43 p.m.? That's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward of from today's date, today would be Saturday. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little different. Even so, all our alarms were set to the same current time, so we eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. Bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter. It's too cold. But New Year's fun. Off to the dining hall. I'm sorry for pausing so much. Something. I grab some water since I'm talking so much. Ugh. Then we're gonna take a little break. Yeah. We're not done recording. I'm just gonna take like a half-hour break. We'll be back. We are back. Okay. Oh. What? Okay, time to get back to this game. Whoa, whoa, what's this log? Wait, what game was it? Oh, that was for. Oh, frick, I forgot to save. Dang it. Danganronpa. I opened my eyes. This is where we're gonna pick up again. There's gonna be some overlapping. You know what? Yes. That's it. Okay. I think this is about where we left off. So, yeah. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the air, through the room, my senses lost in comfort. Wait. Let me look something up real quick. I want to say something, but I want to be sure I'm not. Doesn't tell me how. Okay, if you do find out, I'm not gonna say anything now. Pandora placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course, I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge you with some sweet treats to begin the morning. I felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body. The warmth of a sun-kissed, dew-drop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Such a lovely setting.
Self-voicing enabled. Prologue, Echo Pine, yeah, it would almost be a shame to eat it. Prologue, Ashley Westbridge, self-voicing disabled.
Um, 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 yeah, it would almost be a shame to eat it. Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. You're too kind. Help yourself. That's alright. We'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we all settled in, Missy stood at the head of the table to begin the discussion. Good morning, all. I trust you all had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer front doors. No. Don't mind me. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you are in to relay a message. Relay a message? The digital kiosk can do that? Yes. I discovered with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens aren't not just for displaying maps with a specified function it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume farther floors as we gain access to them. It's rather rudimentary feature though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using an on-screen keyboard. You cannot send to specific recipients. However, once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. The mansion truly is all-encompassing its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search one room themselves. Which room do I want to? While I was still deciding where to go, Lionel approached me. Hey, Echo, would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Huh? Why me? Because you're the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. I guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. Nonsense. There's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes. Yeah? You might see something different this time around. In the foyer, Misty was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So, what exactly were you doing yesterday? Uh, I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I don't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led to my reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be an outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. Uh-huh. And, like I said at dinner last night, in passing, I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd reason to want to reach for the door? Whoa, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? Cannon immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me lapse for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? Can't really think of anything at the moment. Huh. I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Oh. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate on my own from here. I don't know if that I helped all that much, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanisms. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wonder if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Cannon's disappearing act. Forte was, unsurprisingly, in the theater, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I hope? A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high, despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my service. Boy, are you gonna give me a handy? Yeah, about that. I wanted to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is that so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit, I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seemed straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd. Forte paused. I suppose there was the trifling fact that Cannon fled up to the second floor right away. It's strange. Had I been startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? Other than Cannon fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note taking required of an investigation are too overwhelming. That's okay. I appreciate the thought, and actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. I made my way to the foyer. Hold up, 1 second. I don't. Oh, okay. Never mind. Does not work. I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on the screen. Hi, climbing center. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I toured down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Hmm. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome self in the center. Cannon. Before her, but before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played, and an announcement followed. Oh, crap's about to hit the fan. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Ugh, what now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes. Hello, right back at you. Cool. It works. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's lurking about. um, the rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now, what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all the students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different, and the voice that announced the following was different. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. This voice was more high energy. Okay, let me do this. Oh. Let's go. Let's go. It is 2:13 in the morning. This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game? That's right, a game. And not just any game. Can I get a drum roll, please? This is the Beyond Universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourself get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the Mutual Killing Game. Crap hit the fan. Mutual Killing Game? Ah, the Mutual Killing Game, a game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequence. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed, you are all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves up to the exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, I saw other students' faces go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you would like to leave earlier, then you must then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Or unalive nap another fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequences that some of you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing. But tomorrow, the real fun will begin. Wah! Wah! Announcement ended on one final distressing note before cutting out. The class was an absolute shock. No way. It can't be. Wait. What is this? A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind. Ha ha, how could one? It's merely an awful jest. There's no way any one of us could commit such an act against friends. Wait, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck is this? The bug? Oh. Who said we were friends? Hey, better not. Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running this stick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that defuse an electrocuting door puzzle. Hehe, this ARG is fun. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. Don't worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think, just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there, in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all of our lives were potentially in danger, but don't. I know what you're gonna say. I really didn't belong here. That's the prologue. I do believe. Don't you freaking tell me I gotta buy more. You may now view the student roster. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in almost a giddy manner. A smirk painted his face in stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. So, we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? What's 7 days, anyways? It shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We've made it this far. Art chuckled nervously, but the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that enlisted in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule was that? Please don't joke about the mana. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is onto something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken. Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who is excited. With nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. That awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. With the foyer door bearing any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. All we could do was wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. This so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What a horrible thing could possibly be in store for us. I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I got myself into? I followed close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talent. Right. Honestly, I'm just really worried about you. Me? Yeah, that whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title stuff, so I hope you're not dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get back up and get back in the saddle. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry, I know there's no use to making myself sick with worry. Don't fret about that. It makes sense. This strange situation would make anyone nervous, but look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. Let me check something real quick. Okay, we're back. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a little warrior is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but despite her stubbornness, my heart sank farther and farther into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Uh, oh, of course, I understand. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Wait, 1 second. You can look at the, let me save real quick. We're on to chapter 1, so yes. Hey, here's the roster. So right now, we got Art. He likes frogs, sci-fi movies. I kinda already know. Okay. Go back into it. Ashley departed for the study and I went back to my personal room. It was all too much. I threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink. No. Into my thoughts. I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown room, nothing in my possession, and in a panic, threw the door open to find my best friend, Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate. Yeah, that's right. She's the ultimate jockey. You know what? For the rest of this, I'm not going to use a webcam. It's just going to be my voice, so you can see the whole game. Supposedly won 84% of her races. Whatever that meant. Regardless, she neglected to tell me such a thing during our friendship. Ashley Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There is someone who doesn't have one. Who doesn't have an ultimate talent? That's right. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the immense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main door and was shown the right way to execute it. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up some time later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning and searched the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. There we heard some horrific news. We're not real. We're part of a killing gang. A strange announcement informed us that we were to be trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to go somewhere. Not to mention that the real fun would begin tomorrow. It was also strange, almost unreal. No, I wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Before I knew it, I'd fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. I opened my eyes. The clock on my bedside table read 12 o'clock. Oh, I must have dozed off for a little. Why can't this weird situation just be a dream already? Stared blankly around at my personal room. I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off of things. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave off for today. Um, I got a lot of editing to do for this video. Let me. So yeah. Um. Each episode, or each, yeah, they're called episodes. Each episode will be uh um video. So yeah, stay tuned because this is gonna be a wild ride. Yeah. So have a great night.